Given the upheavals of the Middle East in the last half dozen years, one would not be surprised if President Trump and his administration did not focus too much on that part of the region that deflected or at least addressed the winds of change that swept through the Middle East. I'm focusing on Northwest Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. But it would be a mistake, as Sarah Foyer, my colleague, and I argue in a new presidential transition memo for the Trump administration. Indeed, with a small investment of presidential action and political capital and some assistance, we believe we can secure America's interests and make sure this part of the region doesn't fall prey to the upheavals of the rest of the Middle East and in fact contributes to overall American security. Sarah?
So there are three American national interests in Northwest Africa. First, maintain stability. This imperative has only grown in light of the chaos and war in Libya and the instability among states to the south. Second, prevent the people and territories of Northwest Africa from being used by extremist groups for terrorist operations, transit, and financing. And third, ensure maritime security. Freedom of movement for the U.S. Navy's Sixth Fleet throughout the Mediterranean has been a crucial part of securing our NATO and non-NATO allies, and it's going to continue to be key to U.S. counterterrorism operations in the region. So how can the Trump administration best advance these interests? There are a range of bilateral and regional policy options available to the Trump administration. The good news is that these policies would not cost enormous sums of money or require the administration to expend too much diplomatic capital. In Tunisia, the number one concern continues to be security and the threat of spillover from the Libyan war. So Tunisia is going to continue to need U.S. assistance in areas like border control, civilian policing, and domestic counterterrorism. But Tunisia will also continue to need help in the economic realm. In one of the latest developments of the Obama administration, the Millennium Challenge Corporation decided that Tunisia was eligible for a grant. Now here is an example of where continuity will be key, and the Trump administration should ensure that the MCC grant goes through. Finally, in the one relative bright spot of the Tunisian transition, the political track, the United States should continue to help institutions that have been functioning relatively well, but still lack resources, like the Parliament, and those organizations that will be administering local elections in the coming year. In Algeria, a very different country that has been essentially run by a military regime for decades, and that has generally been wary of close U.S. relations, the Trump administration should approach what is now the largest country in Africa as a partner and not a beneficiary. Given the dominant role the military is likely to continue playing in Algeria, the Trump administration should consider expanding our international military education and training program to bring Algerian officers to the United States for advanced training and constructive engagement. Finally, the administration should lay the foundations for greater commercial engagement so that American companies are well positioned to take advantage of a likely economic opening that will come with the continued decline in oil prices. And finally, we have Morocco, America's oldest ally in the region, which, like some other Middle Eastern allies, saw some rough moments under the Obama administration. And here, the Trump administration has a chance to turn a new page. It can do that by, for example, encouraging the kingdom's growing diplomatic, economic, and religious leadership across the African continent. It should also consider establishing a Moroccan-American enterprise fund to spur local economic development within Morocco and also promote joint ventures to the benefit of American and Moroccan companies. Finally, in recent years, Morocco, traditionally a Francophone country, has seen a growing demand for English language, American-style education. Now, this, after all, is one of the things we do best, and the Trump administration should seize this opportunity.
In addition to all these bilateral areas of American action in Northwest Africa, there are three areas of regional initiatives that we should pursue too. First, counterterrorism. If there's one thing that binds together Morocco, Tunisia, and Algeria, it is a common fear of Sunni jihadists and a common understanding that only by working together with each other, with the United States, and with other parties can they defeat the extremist threat. There have been some budding signs of this already. The Trump administration should build on this and expand it as much as possible. Secondly, in order to do this, they have to make sure that the biggest distraction in this region doesn't take people's eye off the prize. And that distraction is the Western Sahara dispute. It is now simmering, partially because of miscues and missignals throughout the Obama administration. Here, the Trump team should turn a new page. First and foremost, do no harm. Do not send signals that the United States is changing its approach to this. Our policy is to welcome the Moroccan position that it has offered an autonomy program under Moroccan sovereignty that the United States views as serious and credible. We should advance that. We should urge the parties not to engage in saber rattling and to tone down the tensions so they can focus on their common interest in counterterrorism. And then third, along the coast, again, we should increase our naval presence. Here we've already seen that the Russians are beginning to expand their presence in places like Libya. We have to maintain and in fact enhance the U.S. naval presence along the Northwest African coast. This year, 2017, is the 75th anniversary of when American troops came ashore the North African coast in the first major offensive battle of World War II. This is a year when we should reinforce our naval presence to ensure the safety and security of our allies today. Those are the highlights of our presidential transition paper on Northwest Africa. To read our entire article, please go to the website of the Washington Institute, www.washingtoninstitute.org.